Motivation in the job search is so hard to come by, especially when things are going to take as long as they are currently taking. Hey everyone, I'm Emily, the Career Catalyst. It can be really hard to stay motivated when you're in your job search because of just how very long it's taking and because of how frustrating the process is. There's no reward in the job search process. You're not getting paid for it. Nobody's telling you you're doing a great job. It's just a really long, ongoing, and kind of gross process. So how do you stay motivated, particularly if you've been at it for a while? There are a couple of things you can do. The first one is going to sound really counterintuitive, but I am a huge believer in taking breaks in the search. It's so demotivating. It's so demoralizing. It's really tiring. So what you're going to want to do if you're having a really long job search is plan for some breaks in the process, because you just need downtime. You need time not thinking about it. You need time really just taking care of yourself and doing things that are fun and rewarding. Another thing you can do is set goals for yourself and really make a promise to yourself to keep them. This can be really difficult, of course, because we are really good at making promises to ourselves that we kind of know we're not going to keep. Now, the trick to this is when you make yourself a promise, make sure it is small and achievable. It's a temptation that's out there to make really big promises. I'm going to apply to 100 jobs this week. And the deal is you probably can't. It's too much, it's exhausting, and it's really hard. If you were to actually go for the 100 jobs, what you'd wind up doing is applying to a bunch of things you don't actually want. The irony of the situation is always that if you really don't want a job, that is a job you are going to get offered. So curate the things you apply to, be intentional, and set really small goals. So don't think I'm going to apply to 100 jobs this week. Instead, give yourself tasks that can be broken down into sort of 15 or 20-minute intervals. So instead of an arbitrary number of jobs to apply to in a given week, you can say to yourself, for instance, this week, I'm going to explore options on ChatGPT for customizing my bullet points on my resume. You can think, all right, I've gotten really tired of this. So this week, I'm going to explore other places besides Indeed or whatever you're using to apply for jobs, right? Small, manageable goals. What I recommend people do with this is set a timer. You'll figure out what your sweet spot is in terms of kind of how this works for you. Some people do really well if they set the timer for increments of 15 minutes. Some people need a little bit longer. Try 20, 30, 35, whatever works for you. And experiment. See what works for you and see the best time of day for going through this process. What you're going to want to do is figure out kind of when you have peak energy and when you're really tired. I like to save the times I'm more tired for tasks that are easier or more inherently rewarding. I happen to be more of a morning person, so I do all of this stuff as early as I can. And then when I have kind of the lull in the afternoon, the attention kind of goes downhill. That's when I do things that are more fun for me. So that's when I meet with clients. That's when I take little breaks to, take the dogs for a walk, that kind of thing. So figure out your ideal time of day and the span of time you can dedicate to the ickier tasks and have a little bit of fun kind of going through this process, because the process itself is so very unfun. And when you make yourself promises, if you struggle to keep them, think about someone in your life to whom you wouldn't break a promise, whoever that is, a child, a loved one who's an adult, a parent, a partner, a friend, a sibling, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. Really think through who the people are that you're always going to keep promises to, and pretend as you make this promise to yourself that you're promising that person or those people. I hope that you're getting to the point where you also love yourself as much as you love those folks, but it's often easier for us to conceptualize making a promise to someone who's not ourselves. So that's kind of it, right? Take some breaks, set some realistic goals, make promises, cut in rewards for yourself, and try to really be good to yourself in this process. It's not you. The search is taking a lot longer these days than it has in the past, except for people who get really quick job offers, and they often report kind of feeling like they have whiplash. The truth is, for most of us, it's going to be a bit of a longer process. So don't get disheartened. take some breaks along the way, be super good to yourself, and reach out to someone like me if you really feel like you need an extra set of support as you go through this process. All right, thank you for watching, and I will see you here soon.